The next time you go to a GP, you're probably going to be paying slightly more. Here's why. The Australian Medical Association has recommended doctors raise their fees for a third time this year. For standard appointments that run for less than 20 minutes, the AMA is recommending clinics charge $102, up from $98. Based on that, you'll now pay $60.60 for a quick appointment after the Medicare rebate, unless of course your doctor bulk bills, which we'll get to in a second. Everything else on AMA's list, like specialist appointments and longer consultations, has risen by 4.57%. The reason for the change is rising operating costs. AMA's vice president said, like the rest of the community, medical practices have faced big increases in costs, like wages, rent, electricity, registration, and insurance. But if your doctor bulk bills, you'll still pay nothing, and the government is trying to make more of that happen. A $3.5 billion package is kicking in to incentivize doctors to bulk bill people under 16 years and concession card holders. Under the incentive, bulk billing a standard consultation in a metropolitan area will net the GP $20.65 rather than $6.85. And for remote areas, it's increasing to $39.65 from $13.15. The government estimates this increase will benefit more than 11.6 million Australians.
Whoops, I totally forgot about dinner tonight. Let's just take a look at Woolworths and see what they've got. That looks like a pretty nice dish. Let's see how much it costs. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, I'll just get a minimum chips, please, and 3 dim sims. $10? Great, thanks. See you in 15 minutes.
There's one major sign that the cost of living crisis is making Aussies desperate. Research from Finder revealed 1 in 8 Australians have admitted to stealing in the past 12 months. The research found 5% of people admitted to stealing at the supermarket self-checkout, with 4% cheating the machines by scanning cheaper items and bagging expensive ones. Other shocking statistics in the research found that 4% of Aussies had driven away without paying for petrol, and 2% had left a restaurant without paying in the past year. Finder money expert Sarah Meganson said the research suggests households are at their breaking point and shows just how much people are struggling and turning to things that they probably never could have imagined in the past. What do you think?
What do you reckon a lamb's worth?
I wouldn't have the faintest idea. We'll just say $100.
Like 300? Lambs are actually selling for less than $100. That's about 70% less than what they were worth a year ago. We're paying well above $50 a kilo for premium cuts, $10 a kilo for cheap cuts. But farmers are selling their animals for as little as $3 a kilo. So what's going on? Basically, there's a massive oversupply of lambs and sheep in Australia right now, and that's one reason sale yard prices have crashed. And that means farmers are left selling their older animals for peanuts, and some aren't even worth selling.
The reason some farmers aren't bringing their livestock to the market is that it's actually costed us more to truck the animals down to the sale yards.
So why isn't meat?
And they're shooting them in WA.
You've also got to factor in the cost of power, cost of labour, cost of diesel, and the ability to create and package meat. That's all risen too.
So will prices for shoppers
Laughing
fall?
because I'm thinking what a load of shit.
System, yeah. Could be 6 months before you might see some softer meat prices, potentially.
In the meantime, here's some tips on how to find cheaper meat.
Really got to shop around. When you're in places like...
Go to your local farmer, see if he's got a lamb for you.
Do a bit of comparison. Go to your local butcher, go out and do your research.
Cafe manager Arby has noticed a troubling trend.
Not many new customers are coming in.
And regular customers like James say they're buying less.
Life's pretty tough at the moment. Even lunch today is pretty skimped back from what we'd normally get.
He's sharing a bowl of chips with his wife.
Everything's just that bit higher. It's just a bit harder.
That's reflected in data taken from EFTPOS sales in September. Australians are spending 4.9% more than they did around this time last year. The biggest drivers, transport, up 18.4%, spending on health up 10%, and food 4.2% higher.
3.7 million households still struggling to put food on the table. 60% of those people are employed.
The Prime Minister won't provide more cost of living relief, saying it'll only make inflation worse. But the opposition says that's not necessarily true.
You take fuel, it's a cost that's built into everything. So if the price comes down for fuel, it comes down across the board.
Petrol is averaging above $2 a litre, and for every litre, drivers pay almost 50 cents in tax.
It cost me $170 to fill the Hilux up yesterday.
And while support is growing for a reduction in that fuel tax, the federal government has ruled that out. Could you cut the fuel excise?
That is not something the government is considering at the moment.
Arguing prices are volatile due to the escalating conflict in the Middle East, and changing taxes now won't make much of a difference. Jennifer Beshwati, 7 News.